Sort of.
All right, and welcome everyone to the much anticipated,
And
long
there we go.
overdue. We're finally back! Huzzah!
Hey,
Star Trek Valhalla. Star Trek Valhalla. It's a great show. This is season 2. It's really the best show of all shows. But we're on season 2, episode 8, entitled The Meeting. And as is tradition, we're just going to go around the table. We're going to have everyone remind me of who they're playing. Remind me what their actual names are out of game, because I don't know who these people are. How did I get here? And then we're going to dive into an opening log from none other than one of those people who I don't know. So we're going to go in some order around the table, because I don't know who any of you are. If you could just introduce yourselves to me and the character that you'll be playing on tonight's episode, that'd be great. Take it away, first person. Yep, you're muted.
hello. As is tradition, I muted myself before I started talking.
It's beautiful.
I am Brian. I'm at MindOverBrian on both Twitter and on Twitch. Although on Twitch I spell it with a 0. And I am playing Captain Asba Treso, our intrepid Betazoid captain who has forsworn his telepathic gifts. So don't expect me to be doing any of those. I said something.
You said telecrapic gifts?
Yep, I do not have any of those telecrapic gifts.
Okay, thank you. All right, let me just take some notes. All right, next person.
Okay, I'm Sidereal Day, and I am playing Commander Ajay Shahira, who is our Bajoran First Officer and Chief Medical Officer.
Wait, whoa. You can't be a Chief Medical Officer and the First Officer.
Yes, I can.
That's a conflict
Certainly
of interest.
can.
What kind of crew is this? Next person.
The shenanigans. Worst Let's Play ever.
Hello, I'm Charles. I'm playing Ensign Zed, the Chief Operations Officer and Chief of Security aboard the Ragnar.
I'm sorry, an ensign as Chief of I quit. This show it's too unbelievable. I can't
It
do
gets
it.
better. He's
Nope.
Ferengi.
Oh,
Yes,
what?
yes.
That's not allowed. That's, you know what? I'm gonna stick around just to see this crash and burn. All right, next up, next person.
I am Symbol. You can find me on Twitch. Wow, brain, please work. Twitch as Symbol24, on Twitter as Symbol_24. And I play Lieutenant Alden Paris, the Chief Science Officer.
That makes sense. Lieutenant, science officer. Okay, we're getting back to some normalcy. Last person.
Hi, I'm Drew. I am playing Lieutenant Commander Krev Glosh, the Tellarite Chief of Security, and don't try and find me anywhere online. Just
Okay.
avoid it.
Just avoid it. Don't do it.
I mean, you don't want to anyway, so.
No, you really want nothing to do with me, trust me.
God, that's aggressive. It's an aggressive statement. So we're going to open our scene with a view of the Ragnar in orbit of a lush, forested kind of planet. You don't see any major bodies of water, though. You simply see just massive forest. You see mountains, maybe a small river, but no lakes, no oceans. But it's an incredibly lush planet. You've made contact, the Ragnar that is, has made contact with the local species, a warp-capable species that has been a little mysterious, I suppose. They haven't really told you a whole lot about themselves. You just know that you've met with this person, or at least spoken with him. But with that being said, we see a vessel rising up from the planet. That vessel is making its way towards the Ragnar, which is making this slow orbit around the planet. And we see the shuttle bay doors, the outer doors open. We see that force field. We watch as this ship goes in. As that happens, we pan up out of the rear shuttle bay. We pivot up to the first deck. We go in on the port side of the ship, starboard side of the ship, and we go in through and we see the captain in his ready room giving his opening monologue.
Captain's log, stardate 408566.3. The Ragnar has been pulled from its scientific studies and system mapping to meet with a new species. The crew enjoyed having a chance to sink their teeth into our core work, and as the Federation's ambassadors to the area, we can all take pride that the good work we're doing and our positive impact has encouraged a species to express interest in joining the Federation. I'll admit, I'm a little trepidatious about another first contact mission, given how exciting our previous such mission turned out to be, but the attitude around the ship has generally been excited, so I'm just chalking it up to nerves on my part. After our experience meeting the Boudica from a year in our future, I can't say much about the reports of tension at the Klingon Federation border, but everything I'm hearing now leads to my growing concerns. The Klingons have several outposts along the border of the Shackleton Expanse, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention that it would be a shame if we had to withdraw from this opportunity to explore due to the rising tensions. The downtime has also given my officers time to invest in passion projects, and after the past few months, both Mr. Krev and Mr. Paris have results they'd like to share with me. Knowing those two, I'm either going to be delighted or I'll have to put on my stern captain hat again. It's a toss-up. Commander Ajay has settled into her role nicely, and given her expressed interest in it, I may let her take the lead on this first contact mission. She's more than ready, and she deserves a few feathers to put in her cap. The same goes for Zed, whose initial awkwardness has grown on all of the command staff, and we couldn't imagine the ship without his infectious enthusiasm. Maybe I'll send him along with Shahira. He could use a few feathers too.
It's beautiful. You may have 2 momentum, that delightful opening log. You may also have 1 momentum from chat. Adventurer Alrath, thank you so much. He gave you some momentum. That's 3 momentum to start the game with. He also gave me some threat. So the chat doth giveth and doth take it away. But we're going to continue with this scene with the captain. Captain, you've just finished recording the opening log. There's a toot-toot-toot, and you hear someone wanting to enter in.
Come.
Lieutenant Paris, you are standing outside of the captain's ready room. You've just pushed the button to go in, and you're about to share some information about this particular pet project you've been working on.
Me?
Yes, you.
Sorry, I really got super distracted. I am so sorry. Internet is bad and evil.
Yeah.
So yeah, Paris walks in with well, it's the doorbell, of course.
Come in.
Paris walks in, little data pad, and hand Captain.
Mr. Paris, grab a seat. What can I do for you?
Thank you, sir. I might have something to show you soon, but I would like to make a full presentation to the whole senior staff, if possible. But I guess it can wait after everything is done with the rumors I've been hearing about the contact. I'm sorry, I'm a bit distracted. But here's the request forms for the final pieces that I need. Some of them might be a little skirting the borderline of things.
Well, I'm a little concerned that we're starting a first contact mission and my science officer doesn't seem to know anything about it, but otherwise, I'm sure we can see our way clear to... Just promise me I'm not blowing up the ship. Or launching it backwards in time. Wait, how many things do I have to cover in this? Promise me it won't.
Maybe
Alden, how many things do I have to cover in this thing, in this promise me it won't?
The first one for sure won't happen. We won't blow up the ship. That is for sure.
But you're
Maybe.
not confident you're not going to launch us back in time?
Well, it does have to do with, quantum mechanics. So.
Well, I'm going to spare you the lecture because you're going to get an earful from Krev when you present to the senior staff, but...
Oh, no, Krev has received all my documentation about the math. I'm sure he hasn't read any of it right now, but...
So again, I'm not saving you an earful of Krev's complaints. All right. Well, I'll review these later. Is there anything else you want to let me in on before you go do your requisite homework before our first contact?
No.
Well, I'll review these later. Is there anything else you want to let me in on before you go do your requisite?
Yes, sir. No.
Oh, and Alden, make sure you have crossed your T's and dotted your I's because Krev is not a forgiving taskmaster. Trust me, I served under him.
I did not know that. Understood. And he walks out a bit faster than he entered.
Okay. Like that. Captain, where do you head off to after this?
Who's got the? I guess I head out to the bridge to let Commander Ajay know that she's in charge of this first contact.
Excellent. Commander Ajay, you're sitting in the captain's chair. The captain's ready room door opens up. Take the seat.
Captain.
Commander, I have good news. I'm happy to grant you your request to be lead on this first contact mission. Well, mission, and so much as a greeting. But whatever resources you need, the ship's at your disposal.
Of course. Thank you, Captain.
I do have, sorry, I do have
go
one
ahead.
condition.
Yes.
And it isn't much of a condition that you are going to be working in tandem with Mr. Zed.
Oh, of course, Captain. I will go let him know. If you have the bridge,
Certainly, yeah.
then I will go alert Mr. Zed, and the two of us can begin planning for this, well, I hesitate to call it a negotiation, but this diplomatic meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And Ajay to Zed.
Go ahead, Commander.
Mr. Zed, if you would meet me in the conference room, we need to discuss the upcoming meeting with the locals.
Of course, I'm on my way.
Ajay out.
Ajay, as you get up, you make your way to the conference room. Zed, you were maybe in the conference room working on something. Perhaps you were taking lunch. I don't know. But Commander Ajay, you walk in and you see Zed sitting there. I think it's funny if you're eating lunch. There it is.
Yeah, all right. And then he stands up, very straight. Oh, please forgive me. I was just finishing off some of these tube grubs.
Please continue, Mr. Zed. I'd hate to interrupt your lunch.
Thank you. Would you care for some? And he'll push the tray over, and a few of them are still wriggling.
No, thank you, Mr. Zed. I'm quite fine.
He'll take it back.
The captain has told me he'd like for the two of us to take point on the meeting with the locals.
Oh, excellent, Commander. I'm very excited to find out about this new culture. And from what I can see, we know very little about them at this time.
Yes, they've not been very forthcoming about much of anything, I'm afraid. I believe we only know how many of them are coming, not any titles, any disparity amongst whether we're dealing with diplomats or soldiers or something completely different. Given that different societies tend to value different aspects, we have simply no way of judging what we're going to find ourselves face to face with.
It's quite exciting.
I would like to take some basic precautions, of course, since we don't know what we're dealing with. I would like to try and limit the number of crew, at least at the beginning. If things go well, perhaps we can permit some more mingling, but I think smaller numbers to start with so no one gets overwhelmed, or so that we don't have someone who might say something precipitous.
Of course. I will make the arrangements. I've already started Mr. Bradish and Mr. Velez going over the shuttle bay where they will arrive and preparing the quarters and such. But I will make the proper adjustments. Alert the rest of the crew to avoid the areas that our visitors will be in.
Excellent.
Danny Bradish here to Ensign Zed.
There he is. Go ahead, Mr. Bradish.
Yeah, so I just want to make sure I got this work order right. You said I needed to paint the walls of the diplomat's room technicolored. I'm not exactly sure what you mean by technicolored. Like, if you could, like the dream coat, like what are we talking about here?
Well, I thought that in order to make a good impression, we would like the walls to be as appealing as possible. Do you remember the Ferengi outfit that I wore during our last casual get together in the mess hall.
How could I ever forget?
Yes, yes. Plenty of oranges, plenty of magentas, maybe a splash of burnt gold. Just whatever you think would look best.
Okay, you heard him, boys. Let's get to work. I don't know. You hear power tools for some reason. I think that's funny. But
As you can see, Commander, I have things well in hand.
So you do.
I think that's a good cadence right there. As Ensign Zed eats one of the writhing and screaming worms. Yeah, that's gross. And I think now we are going to cut down to main engineering. And I'd like to know, what is Lieutenant Commander Krev up to? You've been in orbit of this planet for roughly 4 days. Engine's been humming, it's purring. Warp core looks beautiful, absolutely glowing. And your staff looks a little bored. There's 2 of them that are like throwing a baseball back and forth in the engine room, which is probably dangerous, in main engineering. But they're doing their thing. Another one's over there with like a little paint easel. No, I'm kidding. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm not. We'll see. But it's boring right now. What's Lieutenant Commander Krev up to?
Krev is kind of busily working on a data pad, like assiduously ignoring his entire staff. Like he doesn't care. Everything's running fine. There's nothing that needs his attention. He is deep in work on this pad. He looks kind of furtive, like, he's been a little shifty lately. He's definitely keeping something secret.
You hear something. You think you do. It's probably just the murmur, but it's like, Lieutenant Commander Krev? Sir, are you all right? And you feel a very light, hand on your shoulder. It's Petty Officer Andrea Bronson.
He hides his pad as he looks back.
Mm-hmm.
Can I help you?
Is everything all right, sir? I was calling your name for several seconds, but what are you working on there?
Yeah, it's a surprise. You'll see it soon enough.
Is it going to blow up the ship?
He does some good faith calculations. Don't think so.
Is it going to send us back in time?
Hope not. Should be fine.
Then I don't have to let the captain know.
Wait. What do you mean let the captain know?
Well, I'm going to get back to work. It was really good talking to you, Lieutenant Commander.
That
turns on her heel, starts trying to walk away from you.
He snaps his hand back.
Half a foot away. Like a cartoon character.
Yeah, and he snags the small of her back, like her uniform and the small of her back, and doesn't even look back at her. It's just like, what do you mean? Tell the captain.
Very slowly turns back on her heels. She's gritting her teeth. The captain may have asked me to look in on you after the loss of Jormungandr, and I told him that I would. He also gave me this something along the lines of like a honey wish list, I think he called it, about things that might happen. A do list, a wish to not happen list. That's what it was. Wish to not happen list. And the 2 main questions were, will it blow up the ship or send us back in time? She looks very uncomfortable.
If I may interject, I think that would be a perfect time for what I wanted to do, is to call Bronson.
Yeah, absolutely. You call
Go
her?
ahead and
Yeah.
get it.
This is Bronson.
Hey, Bronson. Did you get my specs for the energy requirements that I sent you?
I did. I did. Yes, Lieutenant Paris. Oh my gosh, I have them right here. I will bring them to you right away, sir.
Did you tell the commander?
Absolutely, I told the commander. Yep.
She told the commander nothing, Lieutenant.
I did.
What is she telling the commander?
Ooh.
Hi, Commander. Thanks, Boston. Paris out.
Yep. Okay, I'll see. I gotta go, Lieutenant Commander Krav. Important project with main science department. Main science.
Petty officer,
Yes, sir.
is it going to blow up the ship?
No,
Is it going to send us back through time?
probably not.
Get out of my sight.
Yes, sir. She just clunk and just runs off. Thanks for playing along with that. That was funny. All right, at least in my head canon. But all right, beautiful. So, Lieutenant Commander Krev, you're able to turn back to your data pad, pull it out like some sort of covetous-looking golem-like monster, and continue to type away at your calculations. And we now cut up, pivot through the core of the ship, and go back to the main shuttle bay. And we see this. I want to describe the ship to you. It looks to be made of beautifully and intricately carved wood. Think of beautifully carved like head of a Viking ship, or those like old like European ships that had the beautiful like, I don't know, sea creatures on the front. It's beautifully, every little, like, the ship looks to almost be made of wood. It curves up and kind of like spirals back, and the back, these like greenish kind of glowing warp nacelles, these like tiny little warp nacelles. It's a little bit bigger, about like a type 4 shuttle, type 3 shuttle, type 2 shuttle, about double the size of that, not too much bigger. And the front of it is shaped kind of like the head of an elk. So it looks very much like a forest creature of some sort. The ship comes in, woom, 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 woom. It lands, and they made very specific requests. These guests, these diplomats that are coming from the planet's surface, these Tokkal, as they're called, they made some very specific requests. Their shuttle must land on a bed of daisies. Now, they didn't specifically say daisies, but they gave you the specifications of a plant native to their planet. And so you've got this like little patch of green where you've set it down with the perfect dimensions. The ship comes in and it lets itself down. It sets down just this kind of like almost hovers on top of these flowers. Almost like it's sitting, like it's landed in like a very soft, kind of like calm water, like a boat, right? As the back of it opens, it kind of almost creaks, and out steps two, well, very different looking folks. Very different looking folks. We see there, standing ready to greet them, is Commander Ajay and Ensign Zed. Would the captain have been there as well? Were you letting Commander Ajay, I believe you said, take the full command on this one? Teresa? Yep, you're muted.
Okay, am I unmuted now?
Yes.
Yes.
Oof, I unmuted on the screen, but not apparently on my headset. It was weird. Yes, she's fully in charge.
Perfect. So we see Commander Ajay, Ensign Zed. Who else would you have with you? Commander
Mr.
Ajay?
Velez, is that okay? Is it okay if Mr. Velez is there, Brian? And let's have
And-
Bradish there also.
Oh
the two-
boy, it's the first time I've ever been done doing a first contact, Ensign Zed. Do I look all
And
right?
then
Am I dressed
uh,
well?
Wolf, who was
Perfect.
the Vulcan who was the captain's assistant from the first episode
Oh,
way
Tokkal?
back when? Yeah,
To call?
she's
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
she'll
we haven't
be
seen
there.
her in forever.
I know.
Right.
I feel like she would be a good like second choice for assisting Ajay though. So it's not
Yeah.
just security people.
What's she been up to?
I don't know. What has she been up to?
That's crazy. God, she takes me way back. Vanika, your elect, right? Ensign? Yeah, that's her. Vanika? That was her. But yeah, she can be there too. So, but we see these two drastically different looking beings, these aliens, these Tokkal step out. We see one is a very fair, kind of like blue-skinned man, looks kind of masculine. He has this greenish hair that's kind of up the side, almost Captain Planet-y kind of looking kind of person. He steps out, he's wearing nothing but this like leather long jacket. He has like shorts on that are really short, and he's got this huge like symbol that looks kind of like it's carved from wood, and it looks like the head of an elk. It's got these big antlers that come out, and he steps out and he just goes, "How drab of a place! How are we supposed to ally with these creatures? Oh my god! Look at all this. It's grays and yellows. It's so drab. I hate it. I hate it." The woman, she is a little bit darker blue skinned, instead of this greenish kind of like magnificently bright Captain Planety looking hair. She has this kind of dark, almost kind of gray, sort of looks like the ocean when it's a little darker at night and at dusk. You kind of start to see those grays as the water's moving and light. There's not enough light to illuminate and give it that blue-green feel. And she is wearing, it almost looks like combat armor. It's like black. There's plates that kind of go over each other, and she has like slung over her shoulder what looks to be a rifle of some kind. It kind of looks like a phaser rifle or something. Doesn't have it up, doesn't have her hand on it. It's just slung in front of her, and she looks over to the man and says, "You're doing that thing you do." And he just looks back at her and says, "Oh, fine, very well." And then he just kind of like, you ever seen The Fifth Element? And he's just like, "Corbin Dallas!" Like, it's kind of does one of those, like walks up, right? He reaches to his side and he actually has a little wooden cane with him, and he's just like walking up all Corbin Dallas-y to you. And then he stops and he looks at you guys, then looks over at her, then looks back at you guys. "Hello?"
Welcome to the Ragnar. I'm Commander Ajay Shahira, First Officer.
And I am Ensign Zed, Chief of Security and of Operations. I couldn't help but notice over here your critique of our shuttle bay. This is an Intrepid class starship. It is designed for functionality rather than for aesthetic pleasure. Although the Federation does have many other aesthetically pleasing things to offer. I can show you that in our holodeck sometime. Or not, whatever you would prefer.
I like this one's ears. And then he looks over at the woman. The woman says, "I apologize for my companion. The males of my planet can be rather rambunctious when it comes to meeting new people. He's mostly nervous and thus putting on a front. I assume you are the commanding officer of this vessel?"
As I said, I'm the First Officer. The captain is busy dealing with some the day-to-day running, I guess you would put it. He's asked me to welcome you.
"So we speak not with the chief or ruler of this vessel, we speak with his subordinate."
That is how you can look at it, yes. Is this a problem by your culture standards? We can, of course, adjust.
"I too am the subordinate of my commander. Would it appear that we are actually speaking on equal terms?"
Then I suppose that is probably best suited. If you'll come with us, we've got a conference room prepared.
She looks to, maybe you're like gesturing. She like looks in that direction. "You may call me Irduro. Your name was Ajay?"
That's correct.
"Let us proceed." And she like slings the gun around her side. The man has introduced himself as Utu. That's Ootoo, Utu. And he is very interested in Ensign Zed's ears. Very interested, wants to know what kind of product he uses, what's it like. I mean, he's asking like all the Ferengi questions.
Right, yes.
He wants to know like does it hurt if he does that? He's gonna be like, "Bah!" And he's gonna like yell in your ear, you know. And yeah.
In answer to your question, yes, that does hurt.
Do they come off? Can you like replace them? You know, he's just asking all the questions.
No, and Zed will tell him, all about the ear care and about the special Ferengi swabs,
Mhm.
and he'll even volunteer to tell him about the Ferengi teeth sharpeners, if that's something
He's
interested
super intrigued by the teeth. He asks if you are a predator, if you're a carnivore.
in. Well, technically, I suppose culturally, I'm an insectivore.
He has so many questions. He says he looks over at Earduro, and he says, "I like this one. He's not boring, just like you. You're so boring." And they're just having this back and forth. So, Commander Rajay, I'd like to kind of let you lead this. All right. So you've got these two drastically different characters. This rambunctious, almost childlike male, she says, and then this almost overly serious, almost overly military. They're such a stark. It's almost comical how stark difference there. It seems almost unnatural in some ways, but hey, when in Rome, right? It is what it is. So how would you like to take them to like an interview? Do you want to take them and just like give them a tour of the ship? What's your plan of attack on this diplomacy mission?
Given how little we knew about their culture, she probably planned to start off in like just a conference room where there's like some food and drink, and we can talk for a little bit and figure out if a tour of the ship is something they would like or is feasible.
I like that.
And then Zed has had an idea that he would probably have asked Commander Ajay about. If approved, he could have prepared a small holodeck program where we would take them in, and there would kind of be an overview of the Federation and its values, and show some key planets and stuff like that. But nothing, of course, security sensitive or anything. Just an overview.
Yeah, Ajay would have agreed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If I can interject here, I would like to know if it's possible that Paris spied on the arrival, noticing finally, the ship, the flowers, and realizing, oh no, this is going to go poorly for the commander. I got to help her and try to change the conference room to make it more stylized for their likings.
You know what? We're gonna make our first roll of the evening. Absolutely. We're 33 minutes in. We're gonna make our first roll of the evening.
Meshing the style of them and the Federation, trying to synthesize a few plans for them, from Earth culture, stuff like that.
I like it.
Yeah.
So,
not that I'm keeping track of diplomacy points, but
maybe you are.
Yeah. Let me go over here. So this is gonna be a difficulty of. I like the ingenuity. We're gonna make this a difficulty of 2. We're gonna have this be a control science to replicate some things.
This is all daring.
No, this is control.
No. This is all seat of the pants.
Then it's a difficulty 3.
Then I'm more than okay with that.
While he's making this check, may I point out that we would be unlikely to let them use the conference room. We'd probably have them in the officers' mess, because the conference room is right off the bridge.
Yeah, no. It's just the only good conference room map that I have.
Yeah.
All right.
That's fine.
Yeah. A conference room.
Sure.
Yeah, it would not have been that one.
Oh, God, you guys are so picky. Jesus.
No, look, we're being conscious of security. We didn't know who was coming.
She just starts gunning down the crew.
Maybe.
Gets on the bridge, immediately starts shooting.
May I see your bridge?
Little improvisation as a focus, because this is pure improvisation.
Yeah.
I will use the 2 momentum we have at a threat, because I'm a guy like that. And
You mean the 3 momentum we have, and you don't need to spend a threat?
Oh, I wasn't looking at the right place. Thank you. So no threat for you. Haha, you already have too much.
Why would you taunt him like that?
Because it's always fun. Because it's gonna come back and haunt us, so why not?
Maybe this will be just an episode where you meet some weird people. I don't know. Why does everything have to be bad all the time?
See?
That's amazing.
Jesus.
It's amazing. That is fucking crazy. All right,
so
you walked into not this particular conference room, but one similar. Fucking theater of the mind, people. Come on. You walked into one that was similar, and it felt like walking to a home of someone who loves plants. You've just got the vines, the creepy crawling vines. You've got flower pots. It smells of spring. It's like it smells like that really nice like ocean breeze Febreze kind of thing. It's so free. You can feel little like moisture particles in the air. And as soon as he steps in, as soon as the man steps in, this man, he goes, "Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my gods. There's more than one of them, aren't there?" And she just shakes her head. I can't take him anywhere. I love it. I love it. You were fucking with us. You were completely and utterly fucking with us. And he places a hand on Commander Ajay's shoulder, there's this very light hand. He takes his other, puts it up on his chest. It's just like, you were fucking with us.
Just Paris in the corner going,
I assure you, sir, we are not that term with you.
He takes one hand, places it on Commander Ajay's cheek. He takes the other and places it on Ensign Zed's cheek. My sweet summer children, let us feast. And then he just brings his hands together and just almost just frolics off towards some of the food in the buffet and starts interacting with people. And he seems super happy, just filled with joy. He's just a child in a beautiful spring meadow, having a blast, loving it. The woman,
How does? Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
What's her reaction?
she looks really
Mortified.
fucking pissed off. She's she's scratching her nose. Her eyes look a little puffy, like she's having an allergic reaction. And I'm spending some of that threat that I got. And she just looks really uncomfortable. And her eye, her one eye is starting to water. A bit pungent, don't you think?
Yes. While your companion enjoys this, I had thought to show you a different part of our ship.
Can I spend 2 threat to create an advantage, which is that Valles, having been Vulcan and prepared for this, steps forward to the doctor with a small medical kit. He pops it open and it's got Ferengi antihistamine, the one that she's developed, a Xeno antihistamine. It's all in there, just to be we put weird flowers in here. I knew this was going to happen.
Yeah, no, that's fucking great. Spend 2 momentum, absolutely. Create that advantage. That's beautiful. So she steps forward, and the woman looks over and looks down.
Valles is like, "Doctor."
Mr. Valles, my kit, thank you.
Then steps back to the door.
My secondary occupation is as a doctor. This ought to, if you'll permit it, assist you in dealing with the pungency.
How does it work?
Well, you inject yourself with it, or let someone else inject it into you, and it functions
Show
to.
me.
You may
Of
inject
course.
me, Commander, if you wish.
Are you experiencing some of your usual symptoms, Mr. Zed?
I can be if it will be helpful in this situation.
It would be best to explain how it functions. It would be the best way to show how it functions, yes?
Oh, well, I merely wish to volunteer so that we could show our visitors that there's nothing harmful or dangerous about it.
These Danishes are delicious! And he is just having a blast. Just having a blast.
What this particular antihistamine does is it handles the production of mucus in your nose and the rest of the irritation in your sinuses. It lowers it and helps to prevent it from reforming for some time.
Proceed.
Would you like me to demonstrate on Mr. Zed first?
She extends her arm, pushes one of the plates, and this port kind of opens. And what you see in this moment, as this port opens, it lifts up and slides back the armor that she's wearing. You see that there are a number of wires and whatnot. They almost seem to be. She almost kind of looks a little cybernetic. Like some of the wires are actually going into her, and there seems to be just a patch of skin. And it looks like there's been other injections there from time to time.
I would like to use my tricorder just to really quickly make sure this isn't gonna do anything or interfere with whatever she's got injected into her then.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I need to do a check to scan this real quick or what.
You know what?
but,
It's enough to where you could just quickly scan it. Doesn't seem like it's going to affect it at all.
Okay, then I will inject the antihistamine.
Her arm explodes. No, I'm kidding. What a twist. What a
Yeah,
twist.
wow.
Yeah.
What a twist.
No
I
coming
said,
back from
didn't
that.
seem like anything. Didn't say that nothing would happen.
Yeah.
Words
No,
matter. No.
Yeah,
She injects.
No coming back from
And
that.
the puffy eyes, it's almost instantaneous. You watch they start to kind of sink back in. She sniffles. She's still a little sniffly, but she feels better.
Mhm.
Incredible. How did you synthesize this? How were you able to know? Can you show me your medical facilities?
Certainly. If you'll come with me.
She nods. She looks over as though she's gonna say something to her partner, this other guy this guy that's there with her, but instead she just shakes her head, follows Commander Ajay. We're gonna pivot over to him. He is just nom nom like a kid with a box of donuts. It's all his favorite. It's chocolate glazed. His name's Charles Wolf. He's like 14. He just went to the local donut shop, and he's just nom 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 nom. Just it's delicious. It's so delicious.
Ajay's gonna leave the Zed and whoever he wants to stay there with him.
Yes.
And also, what's the ensign's name again? Her?
Ensign Vanika?
Vanika. Yeah, Ensign Vanika's gonna stay there. Sorry, Ensign.
Yeah.
No, that's okay.
Oh dear.
Well, Zed will move up to
them
where
now.
the visitor is, shoveling food into his mouth, and he'll say, I'm very pleased that you're enjoying the food that we have prepared for you."
Have you tried this? And he takes this like glazed concoction of mostly sugar, tries to shove it into Zed's mouth.
Yeah. Oh,
My fat is so good.
I will try it.
God.
The Federation is composed of many worlds with many varieties of cuisines. I'm sure you will find many to our liking. Perhaps you could tell me about the food on your world.
Oh, it's so boring. It is literally the most boring. You wouldn't like the food on our world, trust me. It is so boring. It's mostly just boring. What's that on your hip there? Points towards your phaser.
Right. It is a security device. What do you do on your planet? Do you have an occupation? or
Nothing.
profession?
It's so boring. There's nothing to do. I am like the chief diplomat or whatever. How does it work?
All right. I have prepared a presentation for you for perhaps later. This
Drops
device.
the plate, the donut sprinkles, the chocolate glazed. The young Charles Wolf of 14 looks sad, but that's all right. It's just a dream. And we watch as he drops it. He grabs Zed by the shoulders. Not later. Now. You said there's a presentation? That sounds like a present and a tation, and tations are delicious. And he's just all in. He's like, go now, go now, go now, go now, go now, go now. He's just all up in your face.
Well, he'll look around to the other officers. I suppose we shall head to the holodeck then, if you will follow me.
To the hullabaloo, he says, and picks up his wooden staff thing and just like do a little, marching thing. That's what we're
And
doing.
as we go, Zed will message Commander Ajay to inform him that the presentation is starting prematurely.
Perfect. I'd like to pivot back over to
Just one small detail.
Yeah.
Sorry, Wolf.
No, just interrupt me. It's fine.
Paris. I have to because you're talking fast. I'm sorry. I'm bringing popcorn, like movie containers of popcorn.
Like, okay, very important question. Buttered, non-buttered?
So there's a selection. There's buttered, non-buttered, but with a shaker on the side for like ranch, and one with M&Ms in it. Buttered and M&Ms.
I like it. I like all of it. It's beautiful. I'd like to pivot over to Commander Treso. What are you up to? Captain Treso, excuse me. Oof,
I
you
was
got
going to
demoted.
say, did I get
Captain
demoted there?
Treso. Captain Treso, what are you up to?
hopefully we're just taking scans of the planet, trying to make sure that there's nothing, like trying to get as
I would
good a
love,
picture of.
love to have you assisting and working with the ship and your current on-duty science officer to make some scans of the planet. This is our B plot. This is our B plot. Captain trying to investigate the planet. I love it.
Just alone. Everybody else is at the function,
The
and he's
gala.
just at the science station, like.
Yes, that's exactly right. We're having to do a
Oh.
control science. The ship can assist. Difficulty is going to be a 3. I'm
Control
so
science.
excited.
Can I use composure?
Yes.
Okay.
You're literally panicking.
Excellent. That's a 1. Computer science?
Yep.
Or sensor science?
Sensor science. We got scans.
Sensors science.
Oh no! I have good news, Captain Treso.
Yeah?
You're getting a full and complete scan of the planet's
Oh, thank
surface.
goodness.
It looks crystal clear. What's strange, Captain, is that you're 99% sure that the readings are incorrect, because most of the time you scan a planet and you'll get like a general idea of like how many like beings are on the planet. You can get a general idea. Usually it's fluctuating a little bit. You do this scan of the planet, and there is exactly 6,666,666,666 people on this planet. Like
I was
beings.
convinced for a second you were going to tell me there were 666,666,664 people, because 2 of them were on the ship.
I actually was going to say that, and it felt silly. But yes, we're going to retcon that. Yeah, it's 64. So that's what you see. That's what you read. And you are reading that there is an equal number of male to females. But that certainly can't be right. It's too perfect.
If I were a Superstitious fan, this would be if I followed Earth superstitions, this would be strange, but I mean the computer is seldom wrong. Bridge to engineering.
What do you need, Cap?
Are we doing any kind of maintenance or anything on the sensors? Because I just ran a sensor sweep and I got some pretty silly results, honestly.
No, sensors should be fine. I was gonna ask you, would you be mad if I took the engines offline for like a day?
How offline are we talking, Krev?
Offline.
So like backup power for a day?
I mean, we've got fusion reactors. It's what they're for.
But the ship would be dead in the water, except for maneuvering thrusters.
And impulse engines.
Impulse engines are tied to the warp core. They don't have power if we take the warp core offline.
Impulse engines are tied to the fusion cores, Captain.
Not on the Intrepid class Mark II. On the Intrepid class Mark II, they're tied to the warp core. We'd have to reroute the entire power system in order to make them function off the fusion cores.
Reroute the power system like I did like 6 months ago.
What have I told you about rerouting all the power without submitting those schematics?
I mean, I told you I was going to do it, I think. Didn't I?
No, that's fine. Have you heard about Paris's project yet?
I know we're not going to blow up and we probably won't get shot through time.
He insists that he sent you all the schematics, so if you wouldn't mind looking at them before he presents it to the senior staff. I warned him that you'd have the toughest questions, so don't make me a liar out of me.
Oh, I get to play old man Krev. All right, let's do it. You really don't want me to take the engines off, do you?
I mean, is this something that we need to do?
It's something that I want to do.
That's not what I asked you, Krev. Is this something that we need to do?
No.
What is it? What kind of power output are we getting afterwards? What's the percentage change?
I mean, it should be the same.
Then why would I?
I'm trying to do a thing, all right? Just be cool.
Listen, it's just that there's like 600 people on this ship.
Fine, it can
rely-
wait. It can wait. It can wait. It can wait.
Well, listen, but if this is a thing that might result in you not being able to bring the power back online, this is the best place to do it because we could always beam down to the surface.
No, it's fine.
I mean, there's a weird number of people there, but we could beam down. You know what? Is this a safe thing to do?
Oh yeah, it's fine.
Captain Tracer, you watch as that number that's giving a readout on your console. It was reading that 66666666666. It actually like ticks down to 66664.
Okay, the sensors. I'm. You know what? Fine. Take main power off. Do whatever you need to do. You're the chief engineer. I just promise me we're not going to blow up.
Oh no, we'll be fine.
All right. Well, I mean, as long as backup power is going to be on, then we're fine. I have some more important going on right up here. The sensors are giving me some. I'll get back to you. Bridge out.
Thanks, Cap.
Beautiful.
And right before you the camera goes off, Krev, he looks over at oh god, what the fuck's her name?
Bronson?
Bronson. He looks over at Bronson. Bronson,
Sir?
we got a project.
Woo!
It's it's time.
I like to
And-
imagine that he yells at her, and then her combat chirps. Toot-toot.
This is Bronson.
Hey, Bronson, it's the captain. Listen, can you just keep an eye on Krev? He's taking the engines offline. He was pretty cagey about why. Just please make sure my ship doesn't blow up or launch back in time.
Just like you told me, Captain. Just like you told me.
All right, I'm counting on you. Thanks.
Gun
Dead-
to her face,
Dead
into
in her
head.
eyes.
Karev just like, tell them everything's all right. That's horrible. That's so messed up.
And as
wow.
soon as he signs off, Krev's like, we have work to do.
Sir, that's crazy. All right, so we are gonna head on down to the medical bay. We're gonna head on down to medical bay, sick bay, where you have just walked in with the female of this new species, and she has been asking you a lot of questions about your medical equipment, how it works. She's interested in these things called replicators, and you step in the
I figure I would have been explaining like the antihistamine and how we synthesized it on the way down too.
sick bay's empty, save for one green alien, Mr. Hagen, who is just doing some basic cleaning, nothing crazy. And you step in, and let's say we pick up kind of mid-conversation. You're explaining how histamines work, and I don't know, so maybe you do, and you can fill us in.
And so because most people's allergic reactions, regardless of species, functions fairly similar, it's actually, I wouldn't say easy, but it's not necessarily difficult to synthesize something that will work on multiple species to combat puffy eyes, increased mucus production, rashes, that sort of thing.
Can you show me where you make this substance? Is it a device you use? Is it a... How does it work?
Well, first we have to get the formula right. So I'll lead her into, I'm not really seeing a lab area in here, but I'm sure there is one.
Yeah, it's it can be like the library over here.
Yeah.
Right at the top, right there.
Mm-hmm.
Hagen's just getting ready, cleaning it up. Doctor,
Yep.
moves past.
Nurse Hagen, this is one of our guests currently from the local planet.
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Nurse Hagen is one of my assistants.
The woman takes in a deep breath. He seems calm.
Yes, most species don't have the cultural or genetic dimorphism in personality that your culture seems to, that your people seem to.
Hagen stands there awkwardly for a few moments and says, I'm all done cleaning, Doctor. I'm going to end my shift a little early, if that's all right.
Of course.
He is out of there.
Yeah.
She watches you lead her over to the little science station, and you start showing her how things work.
Yep.
Velez
And
trailing
then-
along behind, just
Yep.
protectively.
And then once we've finished coming up with a formula that works, the replicator can be programmed to produce more of it.
How do these replicators work?
I'm afraid I'm no engineer. I couldn't tell you the science behind it.
If we were to join with your Federation, do you freely exchange technology?
The replicator, certainly.
Can they be used to replicate weapons?
I wouldn't know. As I said, I'm not familiar with the technology behind a replicator.
Now, is
My
Commander
unders-
Ajay really not know, or is she lying to her right now?
Little of both. She can
Ooh,
extrapolate.
We're gonna have you do a
but-
presence command. Difficulty of 4. Difficulty of 4. Because she looks real like squinty fry eyes at you right now. Let me just deduct some diplomacy points here. Give me 1 second.
I'm gonna spend that momentum to roll 3d20. And crud, that's for help. All of this is for helping other people.
Yes, it is.
Can
Okay.
Velez assist?
Yeah.
He'll step forward and look, from a tactical standpoint, I can offer.
Look, I just want to point out she doesn't know for sure.
Oh, I know.
She can extrapolate, but again,
What was the role? Presence what?
Presence command.
Oh
uh,
boy, he is not good at either of those things.
composure as a focus.
Sure. I'll allow it.
Yes! Oh Jesus!
That was really good.
Okay.
That was really good. Yeah. She believes you. Whether or not you're telling the full truth, or whether or not you are a dirty, dirty liar face, but good at it. We
What was
see
the
her
what was the-
eyes.
what was
The
the
difficulty was
4.
4.
4.
Oh wow,
Difficulty
so we
was
got
4.
2
Yeah,
momentum.
you did.
Yeah.
You did a great job.
Velez will step forward and say, typically the Federation will share food replicators easily, but industrial replicators are another matter. They are often doled out sparingly in order to not overthrow the balance of a planet's economy or power structures.
She turns to you, but they are traded.
They have been in the past. I do not see any reason why we would not establish the same relationship with another member of the Federation.
What is required of us, she turns back to Commander Ajay, to officially join this federation?
Ideally, we would work out a compromise between your culture and the Federation. The Federation is made up of many different cultures and many interpersonal relationships between different needs, different government bodies have to be taken into account. The Federation does have several overarching guidelines that every member planet must live by.
I would like to review these guidelines in full.
Of course. Ajay will pull out a pad that has those guidelines because she would have prepared one for just in case, since this is a meeting of diplomatic nature.
As she starts reading it, she's going to look over at the science station and say, synthesize something else. And we're just going to leave that there. And what's your imaginations? and she's just very intrigued. She's very intrigued. She seems less grumpy. We're gonna cut to the holodeck. Where we've got the fanciful man, Fancy Pants, Mr. Green-haired Fancy Pants, the Captain Planet, as I like to call him. And he has just been yicky-yakking. He has given Ensign Zed a run for his money with how much he talks and how much he drones on. And he is just so positive. And he's really taking a shining to you. He thinks you're pretty cool. He thinks you're pretty neato. Is what he says. He thinks you're pretty neato, and you guys get to it.
I think you're pretty neato as well.
No, I said it first. I'm the one that said it. You are just terrible. You are just terrible. Ha ha ha! And he's just like throws his arm around you, and you're just like your old buddies, loving everything about it. Who else is going to be there? That's my question. As you guys are going to enter in.
So we'll have
Paris is there.
Krev, and Paris. And Mr. Bradish.
Ooh, Danny Bradish is going to be there. Oh boy!
But also, I'd like to point out one little thing.
Yeah.
Zed has a Ferengi talent. What's the name of that thing? Something about his big ears, or that it's +1 difficulty at deception. So he's kind of keeping his ears open a little bit, just to to judge this guy.
Yeah, he's been getting real friendly.
Mm-hmm.
But Ensign Zed would have noticed, even though he's, being chummy, that he keeps looking down at the phaser. Like, he's really intrigued by it. He just wants to know. And he's asked a couple questions, like, how does it work? Ensign Zed deflects. Like, what does it do? Like, he's just like, he's real interested in it. Real interested.
And Zed's been avoiding it, and he's reached down and he's locked the phaser so that if this guy were to grab it, it wouldn't work or anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And what you doing there? It's a beep. It made a beep noise. What does that mean?
We have many devices here that beep to
I love beeps. Oh my god, what else beeps?
Yeah.
And you walk past the panel, he just goes beep, 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 beep. It beeps.
This way.
He's just having a great time. Literally a child. He just seems like a child.
Krev is supposed to be there.
Yeah.
He's not.
Oh no.
Gotcha.
Hear all, trust nothing, by the way, is your
Oh, that's right. Hear all, trust nothing. So basically Zed has he's realized that his presentation will probably bore the crap out of this guy. So once we enter in the holodeck, he's going to say, computer, please call up program RISA 1.
Ooh.
And then as RISA comes up, he's going to say, he says, Utu, this is one of our pleasure planets. It is used as a resort by Federation citizens. It is called RISA. And he's going to begin walking him through RISA, but and to show him all the nice stuff, but it's going to be a concealed lesson too, because he's going to begin to point out all the different member species and life forms here, so that he can see the diversity of the people in the Federation.
Presence command.
All right.
Presence command difficulty. He likes you already. It's only going to be a 3. Only going to be a 3.
So, presence or command?
Presence in command. Presence command.
Let me see. Oh, presence command. Gotcha.
Difficulty 3.
Difficulty.
And you do have a focus.
I have a focus negotiation.
Oh yeah.
All right. So, presence command. Here we go. Presence command.
He's eating it up. He's shaking the holograph's hands. Holograph's hands. He is. Wow, that's unfortunate.
Oh, can I spend anything to re-roll?
You could spend your determination to re-roll.
I will spend my spend Ferengi blood Federation heart to really push it over.
Much,
how he loves how much Zed loves the Federation.
That's good. It's good.
So that would allow me just to re-roll 1. Is that correct?
Both.
I think it'll let you re-roll as many as you like.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, please don't let me down.
We do have momentum. Don't forget.
Oh,
but he can't spend it now. He already rolled once.
It's true.
Oh, it's true.
That's right. So you said it was presence command?
Yes.
There we go.
scared.
I'm scared too. Here we go. Da-da-da-da-da.
Hey.
All right.
Only
Yes. yes.
2 successes.
Oh.
Only 2 successes. Difficulty 3. So everything's going really well.
Could someone else that's there assist?
Everything is going really well. He
Okay.
seems like he's almost bought in. Would one of the other people present like to try to assist?
Sure. It's
How?
not going to go well. As he's seeing poor Zed fumbling with his right, it's like he's got the popcorn in one hand. He's like trying to point out, like, as humans, we really love the popcorn, snack food like between salty and sweet, and just, would you like to try this? Is popcorn with a chocolate.
Which one do you offer first?
The popcorn with chocolate.
Hand in, takes a mouthful, chomps down. Roll me a D100. You
Ooh.
want to roll less than 33.
Oof. Hey.
He loves it. Loves it. Takes another handful. He is just eating it up. Eating it up. You may go ahead and roll to assist.
All right.
Daring command.
All right.
Bold move.
Does improvisation
Yes.
work as a focus? All right. I love improvisation. It's so good.
There it is. Boom.
I love my daring. I'm gonna keep
All
it.
right. Here's where we're at. He's loving it. He's eating it up. He tries the next popcorn. He loves that. He loves the bland stuff. He's just like, it's so crunchy. Loves it. He's just having a great time. You're walking around Rise. It's beautiful. You've met Vulcans. You've met I don't know. I can't think of any other species right this second. But you've met Bajorans. You've met
Andorians,
Andorians, Bolians. You've met Folians. You've met tree
Even
people.
one Horta.
Yeah, you met everyone, and finally, you come to a very finely dressed, very disgruntled-looking Klingon hologram. The man stops. He looks incredibly disappointed, incredibly annoyed, and he starts to scream like a child having a tantrum. Like a child having a tantrum. And he starts to just yell and complain and sob. And all you're getting out of him is, I thought we already met with those ones. I don't want to meet with those ones again. They were mean and stupid, and I hate them, and I hate them, and I hate them. Where is she? Where is she? Where is she? She lied to me. No more Klingons. They were stupid. And he's just yelling and screaming, and he seems to not be really happy.
Computer, freeze program.
Program freezes.
I'm sorry that you were in distress. I
You're
can
telling
eliminate
me these stupid heads. They were stupid, and I hated them, and they were awful. And you're telling me they're part of your stupid Federation? No, go, no. And he starts bouncing up and down,
Right.
literally like a 3-year-old throwing a tantrum, and he's just just screaming like a
Zed
child.
will share a look with Paris, like, like this, and then he's gonna say, no, the Klingons are not part of the Federation, but we are open to peace and friendship and alliance with all worlds. If you were to join the Federation, you would have to also accept all beings, no matter what world they come from.
This needs a check, because things are going well.
Uh-huh.
So if you failed, he was going to have his panic attack, but you weren't going to get a chance to actually save it.
Right.
Now you have a chance to calm him down. I want you to sell me on a check. What check do you want to make?
Well, Zed is good at insight.
Okay, let's do insight.
seeing
He's picking up what's
on
going
with him.
down. He's kind of been getting a feel for this
Yeah.
guy. I think insight
Uh-huh.
makes sense. I like that.
Let's see. Insight and
Security. There it is. We're gonna do security. Inside security.
Okay, insight security.
This is a
Let's-
tactical move. This is a tactical move. Diplomatic, but
Okay.
tactically diplomatic.
All right. So let's see.
Tactical diplomacy.
Insight plus security, and I don't know if negotiation or
Yeah,
would
absolutely.
count. Do you think it would? Okay. All right. Here we go.
Difficulty is a 3.
Here we go.
You have momentum. You didn't roll it.
Oops. Oh, I got a 2.
You got a 2.
2 successes.
So what do you
Paris?
say though, Zed?
Paris, would you like to assist also? Oh yeah, he's saying it may seem like a bad thing to you, but to us it is a very good thing that we accept all people, all worlds, all life forms as equal and as capable of being our friends.
And Paris, can you
Um,
save the day again?
Paris is on the sideline going, and the ability of each individual to go past their own prejudice and fear is what makes the Federation as strong as it is.
Check what you like to sell me on.
Inside security. Same
Done.
one.
Done.
Security. That's the third.
Excellent.
His tantrum almost instantaneously stopped. He looks left, he looks right. And he was kind of like crouched, like tantruming, kind of like rolls his shoulders back. You kind of hear his back crack. And he says, "It is fascinating, absolutely fascinating, to see how some cultures treat a adolescent like mine. Your words," Ensign said, "have spoken to me. They have, unlike our meeting with the Klingons, they have shown me that your Federation is truly practicing what it preaches. You are understanding, you are cordial, and you are thoughtful. Something that my species holds in very high regard. Please, I believe you said there was an additional presentation. Is that correct?
Yes, I would be very happy to share it with you.
Proceed."
Mm.
And his whole
There was at
demeanor
least-
changes. And even though he's still wearing that kind of like, you know, like short shorts and everything, like he just looks more regal. He looks more like put together and proper. And it seems like you've won him over. It seems like Ensign said you've done a fine job of winning this guy over.
There was like half a chance there where he was going to be like, "These weaknesses cannot be tolerated."
Yeah.
There was.
I was like, "Oh boy."
Begin the execution, my dear.
Yeah.
At once. The Commander Raji. That's terrible. Yeah, but no, you go around, you're giving a presentation showing me different videos and holograms and things like that, and it's good. And he just seems very astute, very attentive. He's no longer this just adolescent, just child, just being completely out of control. He seems like just a calm, cool, collected adult, as it were. And we're gonna pivot back over to Lieutenant Commander Krev. Lieutenant Commander Crab, what are you doing? What are you doing down there in main engineering? People at home want to know.
The engine core is not there anymore. There
Okay.
is no blue glowing like
I don't know what
crystal
sound
tube.
that is, but there's
The
engineering noise going on.
sorry, the the crystal what the hell do they call it?
The dilithium crystals?
No, it's the other thing.
that it?
The warp core, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, it's
The matter antimatter mixing chamber,
No, it's not
Yeah.
the chamber. It's the crystal part at the top.
the dilithium crystals.
Yeah.
The lithium chamber. The
No, that's in the middle.
Yeah.
The flux capacitor.
The magnetic constrictors on the warp
Oh.
core. That's the silver parts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are gone. And Krev is has got like a couple crates. The old ones are sitting there like off to the side, and he's like got like a levitating hand truck, and he's like pulling it. And what is her rank? Is she another? We have a lot of chiefs.
Yeah, Chief Petty Officer. Lots of
Yeah.
Chief Petty Officers. Yep.
Yeah, Chief.
You talking about Andrea Bronson again?
Yeah, Chief Bronson.
Like
God,
your
why
second in
can't I-
command. You just keep forgetting
I
her
know.
name. No wonder she took the captain's side.
You keep saying we keep talking about Bradish, and my brain doesn't work with alliterative last names.
Bronson,
okay?
Bradish is two totally different
Yeah.
people. Danny Bradish over here.
Yeah.
Hello, Commander, Lieutenant Commander. Is
Yeah.
everything all right? Yeah, everything's
Yeah.
fine over here. I'm not talking to you. You know, that's what I'm saying. You know, like they're
Yeah,
two different people.
My brain just sees B.
Oh, there it is. That
Yeah.
one was for Blau.
Okay. So Bronson is like just standing there watching him like pull these like giant crates in, and he's like, okay, we should be able to get this we still have the graffiti up there.
Yep. No, that's parts. That represents parts all over the place. That's what that represents. Just parts.
So yeah, if you can get the old magnetic constrictors back into the workshop, that would be great. I will start setting up the surprise for the rest of the crew.
Lieutenant Commander, I understand that you're probably just going to yell at me and tell me to do my job, but what the hell are we doing?
I'm sprucing things up, Chief.
I don't know if I like the idea of you sprucing things, sir. With all due respect.
He looks genuinely hurt. Like,
Sir,
what do you mean?
sir, it was a joke. You've been really tense. And she just like slowly reels the card away. Not reels, but it's like woo, 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 woo.
She got me.
She got him.
But he just goes back to pulling the cart.
She got him. And you hear from the little side workshop area, I got him. You got him? I got him. I actually got him. Oh my god, yeah! And then the doors close. That's a good moment. I like that. We're gonna leave that there. Leave that there. Captain Teresa, what are you up to? What are you doing over there? You still trying to mess around on the bridge by yourself?
I actually moved back to my command chair and I'm just doing the scans from there because I'm like, clearly I just don't understand the sensor controls.
Mhm.
They've changed since I sat in that chair.
Mhm.
Probably.
Yeah. I'd like you to try the check again, but I'd like you to use a different check. I'd like you to use insight engineering to kind of boost the sensors, and it's to boost the original reading that you took to see if you can maybe like enhance the readings you got. That's what we're gonna go with.
Cool. Difficulty?
Difficulty to be a 2. I want you to succeed.
All right. I'm going to spend one of these momentum to roll a third dice.
Yes. Do it.
Composure still is a focus, or should I not get that?
No, not composure. We're not doing composure.
What about astronavigation?
No.
What about experimental technology? Because I'm running the
I'll allow
sensors
it.
through.
I'll allow it. It's not. I'll allow it. That's all I'm saying.
Hey,
Everybody gets
you
one.
got 2.
All right. So we watch as you boost the sensor scans, and you watch as the number starts to drop very quickly, and it drops all the way down to there is only 500 people. 500 people on this planet. That's it. That's all you got.
Are they
When I say
located?
500, I mean there's like 400 and wait 498. Is that it? 498 on the planet. equal number of women, equal number of males. They all seem to be congregated. If you look at I can actually bring you back to planet. Give me one moment. So they all seem to be congregated in the center of this lighted area where all of them are. All right.
Well, this doesn't make any sense at all. Boy, if only I had a science officer on the bridge.
Lieutenant Paris, your ears are burning. I feel like someone's messing with your sensors.
I am needed on the bridge.
My people need me. He just flies up through the decks. No, so I think it would be humorous if you're thinking if only a science officer, Lieutenant Paris is going to come up a turbo lift. Maybe you were coming up there to grab something.
So the second he became his actual self, and the presentation would take its own course, Paris was actually very disappointed in the situation and left the popcorn to the Otto if he wanted it. If not, he takes it with him and just goes back to his duties on the bridge.
Perfect. Boom. Captain Traso. Hey, your chief science officer. How convenient.
Mr. Paris, I'm glad you're here. I'm gonna
Captain.
send some sensor readings to your console. I need you to take a look.
Yes, sir.
I took some and then I took some different ones, and these readings aren't making a whole lot of sense to me. I was just starting to think maybe I should launch a probe to do a full scan of the planet.
I mean, yeah, just give me a second and look it all up, sir. So
Insight. Science. Difficulty of 2 for you as well.
insight, science.
By the way, Ensign said everything's going really well. He's kind of almost Vulcan-ish in his seriousness, but he still laughs from time to time when things are funny. He just seems like an old college professor is the best way I can describe him right now. And he's just asking questions. He's no longer obsessed with the phaser. He's just asking questions about the Federation, the rules, laws, bylaws, what kind of protection is allotted. He does ask a lot of questions about protection. And how it works. He's very interested in the replicators for food, all of those things. Yeah.
So
Cool.
I'll use the momentum and my talent of technical expertise allows me to reroll a failure. So huzzah. Yeah, I'll reroll the dice. Insight.
That 16 was so close.
Science. Yeah, it's kind of annoying, huh? Yay! I got my 2.
All right, 2 things.
Did you decide you didn't have a focus?
I really don't for that type of situation.
The captain's readings were correct. There's only 498 people on the planet. Well, on the planet's surface, I should say. You're actually able to pick up that there's the planet's surface that's got the dirt and the trees and all of that. But then there is a solid, metallic domed structure. It's almost as though the planet's bones, like its subsurface levels, as it were, is like a giant metal sphere. And you see that it appears that maybe you're scanning near that central city. You see as it goes down for just a second, as though maybe someone went under the surface. It goes down to 496, and then a second later it's back up to 498. But it always stays at that 498. But it's almost like they're maybe swapping. I don't know. It's weird.
Is this Okay, how would I put this? Would I consider this a planet with something inside it, or something that made a planet around itself?
That's a great question. Is that your question that you're asking?
Yes.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. I was like, that's part of the mystery, but you're gonna ask the question. Fair enough. What it seems like is that this is something that made a planet around itself. Like maybe it picked up dirt elsewhere. But you are reading these like large mountain regions. You actually start scanning them and you start thinking to yourself, what if? And you think this planet might be a ship. Yeah.
All right.
I think some of those mountains on the far side might actually be massive engines.
Captain, these readings I'm going to send over, these track with how the diplomat presented himself to us. These people are very secretive, I believe, and don't want all their secrets found out right away.
Reasonable.
That's that is not a planet, sir. That is a ship. That is see those mountains in the scans, those are probably very, very strong engines to be able to move a mass that size.
Any indication how recently this planet has moved? Besides being an orbit around the
GM,
sun?
can I answer that question?
Yeah, you can
What?
answer it. Yeah, absolutely.
No, okay, but what is
What
that
is the
information?
answer? What is the
What
answer?
is the answer?
The answer is it looks like it recently arrived. And the way that you can tell this is that you're scanning and you actually find in one of those mountains that there's like an actual like piece of like a giant metal structure sticking, like not too big, but you can scan it. You actually can get a reading of it. It is a alloy not dissimilar to the hull of a Federation starship, but like 100 times stronger and more sturdy.
I relay the information, and the other scan I want to do is I want to try and see if I can identify particles or matter that is that we know of in the Shackleton Expanse with all the traveling we've done.
Yeah.
So cross-referencing to see if there's a pattern of.
Ooh. All right. Ooh. Insight science difficulty of 4. You're gonna start scanning the surface to see if like, is it all the same dirt? Is it different dirt? What are these people all about? Let's find out.
And
In
while
the
I'm doing that, I'm
meantime-
explaining to the captain what happened with the Klingon, the tantrum, and then how Zed and a little bit me helped the situation, and that the diplomat revealed himself to be playing a part, that he was indeed testing us to see how the people in the situation would react, to see if we were doing what we preach and all that.
In the meantime, the captain will call a yellow alert with the exclusion of the officers in areas around the guests, and bring a full complement to the bridge just in case. All duty officers aren't otherwise occupied to the bridge, because they've gone to a lot of effort to trick us into flying our ship next to a planet ship, and I want to be able to get out of here and get information to start to Starfleet just in case.
Two things.
Hold on. Camera cuts to Krev, and he's holding he's standing on a railing holding something above his head, and he goes, oh shit.
I love it.
I'm giving you 3 threat because we're out of momentum.
Just
GM.
what he needs.
I know, but I have bold science, so I can re-roll 1 dice from that. I have technical expertise. Can I use stellar cartography as a focus?
You may. What are you trying to check?
Can the ship sensors help me up?
Sure. What are you trying to check?
If the particles cross-reference with where we've been, to see if they can map up.
Yeah. I like that.
A trajectory, or if where there have been, if we've been there.
I'm good.
I will re-roll that 0 though.
I'm gonna have good news and bad news for you, Symbol.
Well, of course, you always do.
Like, it's gonna be great.
Sci-
The Ragnar
science.
helped.
Yes, it did.
Oh man,
Oh,
it'll be funny.
so that was a difficulty 4, you said, right? That's my memory of it, anyways. But yeah, so we have the 4.
I like where your mind's at, Commander Ajay. Getting sassy. All right, so here's the good news. Here's the good news. You're able to identify close to, and I'm not being hyperbolic, 100,000 different soil samples from likely 100,000 different worlds. Most recently, you recognize that a large portion of the southeastern hemisphere, this large kind of like almost desert-like region, it matches a desert planet that you recently visited and interacted with, at least observed, a pre-warp civilization of nomadic, kind of like Tatooine style, right? Like herd peoples. Herders, is that it? Herdsmen? There it is. It matches it almost too perfectly.
I'll relay that information to Captain. I don't know, Captain. This is sounding more and more fishy. They're able to graft parts of plants onto themselves, clearly. What happens to the indigenous people?
Cut to Commander Ajay. Back in medical. The woman has been watching you, do this thing with the vaccine, and you've made a brand new, if I understand, a vaccine. Is that correct? You made a brand new vaccine?
Just a basic one.
All right.
It is a base vaccine that other people in the Federation have used. She's just maybe played with the composition a little bit per the DM I sent you.
Yes. I understand that your Federation is composed of how many different planets?
That's not an answer I know off the top of my head. Wolf.
Would Commander Ajay?
Yeah.
Then she says X number of planets.
Okay, cool.
And where precisely is this Federation located?
150 planetary governments
Thank you.
spread out over 8,000 light years.
The Federation encompasses a rather sprawling part of space, comparable to the Klingon or Romulan empires.
And are each of them as warm and welcoming as you are?
Each of the, I would say each of us have our own cultures, much as you have your own culture.
Show me on your ship's computer where this Federation border is. Commander Ajay, you can feel subsurface thoughts, right? Like emotions, feelings.
I'm a Bajoran, not a Betazoid.
That's what I said. Why did I think you were a fucking Betazoid? I'm terrible.
The captain is a Betazoid.
That's right. Well, it's been forever.
We took bad notes at
Great
the
returning
beginning of this
episode,
session.
by the way. Great return episode. I'm just fucking rolling here tonight, guys. It's been great. All right. Well, you're getting the hair on the back of your neck standing up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You're very uncomfortable.
Oh yeah. This computer won't show it to you. I'd have to take you elsewhere. We try and partition. Oh
spend-
no!
Fixed threat. That rifle that's been slung over her shoulder, she pivots it around like combat trained, lightning quick, and there is just a and we watch as Velez is cast back into the door, dents it, and just drops down. just looks completely knocked out, and
Man.
she quickly turns the gun, points it at you. You will show me where the border is so that we may continue to feed.
If you'll come into my office, I would like to grab that vaccine I synthesized.
Vaccine's been grabbed.
Okay. And
Meanwhile,
will...
Ensign Zed, he has just eaten up all this information,
Yep.
but he has started to ask you, Ensign Zed, could you show us a map of this Federation and where it is located? I'd love to see what it encompasses. You know what, Ensign Zed? Ensign Zed, I'm going to let you make a roll. Presence security. There's something, I don't know, I'm going to give you a chance because you said you can smell
what about
bullshit.
insight?
I'll let you do
Insight
insight security. That's fine. Yeah. Difficulty at 2 for you, Ensign Zed.
All right. Would investigation
Sure.
work with that?
Sure, I'll allow it.
All right. Insight, security.
I love it. Fantastic.
Oh,
You feel, you know what? This guy is
Oh,
okay.
oh.
This guy is a-okay, Ensign Zed. You know
of
what?
course. Computer, please display the. It'll display the
As it shows the star
Yeah.
chart of the Federation.
I give you 2 threat to create an advantage. We've sealed off the holodeck and sickbay with a force field, but also from external systems. So what
Yeah.
he gets is "Toot-toot, that information is not available to the holodeck at this time."
Oh no!
Yes.
The man, it goes to pop up, and Ensign Zed, you notice an almost hungry look on his face, and then it disappears, and he looks very disappointed. Not tantrum disappointed,
Right.
but disappointed. He turns to you. We must have it. Simultaneously, Commander Ajay is walking into her office with this lady, gun in her back. We've got Captain Treso with most of the bridge staff back up on the bridge. And our final scene, as we're going to leave this on a massive cliffhanger, because I love a good cliffhanger. Love a good cliffhanger. We watch as all of the lights go out on this planet. Just like
I'm in the ship because the support bench is gone.
There is a rumbling, and we watch as literally where that city was, this spiral-like opening opens up, and imagine a massive maw-like opening of grinding gears and flames and fire, and a core opens up, and we see the tiny little Ragnar right there.
That's right.
Yeah, and there's just this kind of like
Hey, you know what would have been awesome to have right now?
A warp engine?
That's the thing.
God, when Krev was doing that scene, I didn't say a goddamn thing. So I was like, it's gonna get to this point, and it's gonna be hilarious if they don't have a warp engine. Absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, it's not like I didn't do it for comedic effect.
I love it.
No.
That was great. So we are going to have
Yep.
episode 9 next week. Episode 9 next week, which will be The Meeting Part 2. And I will be changing the name to MEATING because delicious. But yeah,
Well, all that cramming of the donuts in his mouth was foreshadowing.
you're not wrong. I'm pretty proud of myself. I thought I did
It was
okay.
like 8 shadowing.
Yeah, it was
The number of donuts he put in his mouth.
That's true. But no, absolutely great job, everyone. Absolutely great job, everyone. You may all start next episode with 2 momentum. 2 momentum, because you're going to freaking need it. And I love it. But yeah, as I always say at the end of every session, any final thoughts, questions, comments, or concerns from the crew of the Ragnar before we wrap up today's episode?
Well, I just have to say, I thought things were going this way, and then I thought they were going this way, and now they're going this way.
Couple
It's a
twists
bit
and
of a roller
turns.
coaster for sure.
Couple twists
Yeah.
and turns. I liked it. I like it. I like try to keep you guys on your toes, as it were. It's been a while. I've been sitting on this one for 3 weeks, so I've had a lot of time to think about it.
Yeah,
But
Sean.
Yay.
it's good to be back. It's good to be back. Hopefully, we will be a little more consistent. In the meantime, though, as I always say at the end of every episode, thank you so freaking much to the players for playing. It's always a pleasure to play with this fine Tuesday night crew. Thank you so much to, well, there weren't really very many viewers tonight, but thank you to the viewers that were here. I think it was mostly you watching yourselves. But happy gaming,
Yes.
everybody. We will catch you guys next Tuesday, same game time, same game place, for episode 9 of season 2, The Meeting. Emphasis on the A. But with that being said, be well, be safe, and happy gaming. Cheers.